Stop! Before you invest another dollar in 2025, you need to hear this. A single $100,000 investment in one Fidelity fund would have exploded into $6.6 million. That's enough to retire, buy your dream house, or create generational wealth. But here's what's really interesting. I recently discovered that most investors are completely overlooking Fidelity's best-performing fund. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on not just one, but the 5 most powerful Fidelity funds that could exponentially grow your wealth in 2025. And I'll show you an insider strategy that turned my own $100,000 into a money-generating machine. The best part? One of these funds has 0 fees, literally 0.00%. We're talking about keeping every single penny of your returns. Ready to discover which funds these are? Let's dive in. Whether you're a beginner looking to start your investment journey or a seasoned investor aiming to optimize your portfolio, what I'm about to share could completely change your wealth-building strategy in 2025. I spent hundreds of hours analyzing Fidelity's entire fund lineup, crunching the numbers, and discovering patterns that most investors miss. But first, let me tell you something interesting. While everyone's chasing the latest meme stocks or crypto trends, the real wealth builders are quietly growing their fortunes using these 5 specific Fidelity funds. Why? Because they understand something crucial. Sustainable wealth isn't built on hype. It's built on proven strategies and smart fund selection. Here's what makes today's video different. I'm not just going to throw fund symbols at you. Instead, I'll show you exactly how each fund could fit into your portfolio. Real performance numbers that matter for 2025. A unique compounding strategy I personally use. How to minimize taxes while maximizing returns. The specific combinations of funds that work best together. But before we dive into these game-changing funds, you need to understand why Fidelity deserves your attention right now. With over $4.3 trillion in assets under management, they're not just another investment company. They're revolutionizing how everyday investors build wealth. The most exciting part? One of these funds has something that was unthinkable just a few years ago, a 0% expense ratio. That's right, you keep every single penny of your returns. And wait until you see the 30-year projection I've calculated for this fund. So grab a pen and paper, because what you're about to learn could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential future returns. Let's get started with our first fund. If you're ready to transform your financial future with these powerful Fidelity funds, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's turn your $100,000 into millions together. Let me introduce you to what I consider the crown jewel of Fidelity's lineup, the Fidelity 500 Index Fund, ticker symbol FXAIX. This isn't just another index fund. It's what I call the ultimate wealth-building machine. And in a moment, you'll understand exactly why. With an incredible $619.45 billion in assets under management, FXAIX has established itself as a financial powerhouse that's larger than the GDP of many countries. What makes this fund truly remarkable is its ability to deliver exceptional performance while keeping costs remarkably low. Currently priced at $202.38, FXAIX has already delivered an impressive 25% return year-to-date, but that's just scratching the surface of its potential. What really sets this fund apart is its proven track record of turning ordinary investments into extraordinary wealth. Imagine this: a $100,000 investment in FXAIX, based on historical performance and compound annual growth rate of 15%, could potentially grow to $404,560 in just 10 years. Extended to 20 years, that same investment could balloon to an impressive $1,636,650. And if you have the patience to hold for 30 years, your initial $100,000 could potentially expand to an astounding $6,621,140. But here's where it gets even more interesting. FXAIX isn't just about explosive growth, it's also a reliable income generator, with a current dividend yield of 1.2%. Your $100,000 investment immediately starts working for you, generating $1,200 in annual passive income from day one. Through the power of dividend growth, assuming a conservative 5% annual increase, this income stream could grow to $1,950 annually after 10 years, $3,170 after 20 years, and an impressive $5,150 after 30 years. This is what I call the double compound effect, where both your principal and income grow simultaneously, creating a powerful wealth-building machine. What makes FXAIX particularly attractive is its rock-bottom expense ratio of 0.015%. While other funds chip away at your returns with high fees, FXAIX keeps more money in your pocket with an incredibly low-cost structure. Plus, by tracking the S&P 500, you're essentially partnering with America's most successful companies. Every time giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon grow, your wealth grows right along with them. But here's something most investors overlook. FXAIX works best when strategically paired with our next fund, which adds a crucial element of diversification to your portfolio. Let me show you exactly why this next fund could be the missing piece in your wealth-building strategy. Let me introduce you to what many savvy investors consider their secret weapon, the Fidelity Total Market Index Fund. Ticker symbol FSKAX. This isn't just another mutual fund. It's a gateway to owning virtually every publicly traded company in America. With a staggering $104.68 billion in assets under management, FSKAX offers something truly special: total market dominance at a price that seems almost too good to be true. Here's what makes FSKAX extraordinary. While other funds charge hefty fees that eat away at your returns, this fund has an almost unbelievable expense ratio of just 0.01%. That's right, for every $100,000 you invest, you're paying just $10 per year in fees. It's like getting a premium buffet at fast food prices. And speaking of performance, FSKAX has already delivered an impressive 23.88% return year-to-date, proving that low cost doesn't mean low performance. But let's talk about what really matters: how this fund could potentially transform your wealth over time. Based on its historical compound annual growth rate of 12.84%, a $100,000 investment in FSKAX could grow to $331,070 in just 10 years. Extend that to 20 years, and we're looking at a potential value of $1,096,170. And for those thinking long-term, in 30 years, that same $100,000 could multiply to an astounding $3,632,070. This isn't just investing, it's building generational wealth. FSKAX doesn't just offer growth, it provides a steady stream of income that grows over time. With a current yield of 1.13%, your $100,000 investment immediately starts generating $1,130 in annual dividends. But here's where it gets interesting. Assuming a modest 5% annual dividend growth rate, your annual income could increase to $1,840 after 10 years, $3,000 after 20 years, and an impressive $4,890 after 30 years. Imagine receiving nearly $5,000 every year in passive income on top of your potential capital gains. What sets FSKAX apart is its unmatched diversification. While other funds might focus on a specific segment of the market, FSKAX gives you exposure to companies of all sizes, from established giants to emerging innovators. You're essentially buying a slice of the entire American economy in a single fund. This broad exposure helps protect your wealth during market turbulence while positioning you to capture growth wherever it occurs. But here's something crucial that most investors overlook. FSKAX works best when paired strategically with other funds in your portfolio. In fact, this leads us perfectly to our next fund, which adds an essential element that could potentially boost your returns even further while managing risk. Now, let me introduce you to what I consider the perfect blend of growth and income: the Fidelity Dividend Growth Fund, ticker symbol FDGFX. This isn't your typical dividend fund. It's a $7.82 billion powerhouse that's revolutionizing the way we think about dividend investing in 2025. Let me put this in perspective. FDGFX has already delivered an exceptional 27.48% return year-to-date. That's not just impressive, It's a testament to the fund's unique strategy of targeting companies that are committed to growing their dividends, not just paying them. And speaking of companies, let's look at what's under the hood. You've got tech giants like Nvidia making up 7.01% of the fund, Microsoft at 5.85%, and Alphabet at 3.44%. These aren't just dividend payers, they're innovation leaders shaping our future. Now, let's talk about what matters most: how this fund could potentially transform your wealth. Starting with a $100,000 investment, and based on the fund's compound annual growth rate of 10.54%, your investment could grow to $271,960 in just 10 years. Push that out to 20 years, and we're looking at a potential $739,870. And if you're thinking long-term, in 30 years, that same $100,000 could multiply to an impressive $2,013,440. But here's where FDGFX really shines: its dividend strategy. With a current yield of 1.02%, your $100,000 investment starts generating $1,020 in annual passive income immediately. Through the power of dividend growth, assuming a 5% annual increase, this income stream could expand to $1,660 after 10 years, $2,700 after 20 years, and $4,380 after 30 years. This is what I call the growth and income double play. Your wealth grows while your income steadily increases. You might be wondering about the 0.78% expense ratio. Yes, it's higher than our previous funds, but here's why it's worth every penny. Active management. The fund managers aren't just picking high-yield stocks, they're selecting companies with strong fundamentals and consistent dividend growth potential. This strategic approach has helped FDGFX maintain lower volatility than the broader market, making it perfect for investors who want growth without excessive risk. But here's something most people miss about FDGFX. It's not just about dividends. This fund is positioning itself in sectors and companies that are driving innovation while maintaining strong cash flows. Think about it. You're getting exposure to AI through Nvidia, cloud computing through Microsoft, and digital advertising through Alphabet, all while collecting growing dividend payments. However, before you rush to invest, there's something crucial you need to know about maximizing FDGFX's potential in your portfolio. In fact, our next fund creates what I call the perfect pair when combined with FDGFX. Now, let me introduce you to what I call the rocket fuel of our portfolio, the Fidelity Growth Company Fund, ticker symbol FDGRX. With a massive $60.15 billion in assets, this isn't just another growth fund. It's a wealth multiplication machine that's been crushing market expectations. And wait until you see the numbers I'm about to share with you. Let's jump straight to what makes FDGRX extraordinary: an astounding 37.19% return year to date. Yes, you heard that right. While other funds are playing it safe, FDGRX is aggressively pursuing tomorrow's winners today. The fund has assembled an all-star lineup of holdings including Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet, essentially the companies that are shaping our future. Now, let me show you something that might make you rethink everything you know about long-term investing. Based on FDGRX's remarkable compound annual growth rate of 18.80%, here's what happens to a $100,000 investment. In just 10 years, it could grow to $552,200. Push that out to 20 years, and we're talking about a potential $3,053,600. But here's the number that really gets me excited. In 30 years, that same $100,000 could potentially explode to an astounding $16,918,300. This isn't just growth. This is wealth transformation on a whole different level. You might notice the 0.72% expense ratio and think, isn't that a bit high? But here's why it's actually a bargain. The fund's management team isn't just picking stocks. They're hunting for companies with explosive growth potential before they become household names. Think about it. They're not just buying tech giants, they're looking for the next tech giants. Here's something unique about FDGRX that most people miss. It pays zero dividends. But that's actually a good thing. Instead of paying out cash, Every dollar of profit gets reinvested back into growth opportunities. This is pure compound growth in action. It's like having a money tree, where instead of picking the fruit, you're letting it grow into an entire orchard. But here's the most powerful aspect of FDGRX that most financial YouTubers won't tell you about. It's designed to be an aggressive growth engine, perfect for balancing out the more conservative funds in your portfolio. In fact, this leads us perfectly to our fifth and final fund, which adds a crucial element that could help protect and grow your wealth even further. Let me introduce you to what I consider the most revolutionary fund in Fidelity's lineup, the Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund, ticker symbol FZROX. And when I say zero, I mean exactly that. With $25.30 billion in assets under management, this fund is doing something that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago, charging absolutely no management fees. That's right, a 0.00% expense ratio. But here's what's truly exciting. FZROX isn't just a no-fee gimmick. It's delivered an impressive 23.94% return year-to-date, proving that you don't need to pay high fees to get outstanding performance. Think about this. While other funds are charging you for the privilege of investing your money, FZROX lets you keep every single penny of your returns. Now, let me show you some numbers that might make you rethink everything you know about long-term investing. Based on a compound annual growth rate of 13%, a $100,000 investment in FZROX could grow to $339,300 in just 10 years. Push that out to 20 years, and we're talking about a potential $1,179,800. But here's the number that really gets me excited. In 30 years, that same $100,000 could potentially explode to an astounding $4,056,800. This isn't just growth. This is wealth transformation without paying a single dollar in management fees. But there's more to this story. FZROX also provides a steady income stream with its 1.06% yield. Your $100,000 investment starts generating $1,060 in annual dividends immediately. Through the power of dividend growth, assuming a 5% annual increase, this income stream could expand to $1,730 after 10 years, $2,820 after 20 years, and $4,590 after 30 years. That's growing passive income without any fee drag on your returns. Here's what makes FZROX particularly special. It gives you exposure to the entire U.S. stock market. You're not just buying big companies, you're investing in businesses of all sizes across every sector of the American economy. This broad diversification helps protect your wealth while positioning you to capture growth wherever it occurs. But here's something crucial that most investors miss about FZROX. It's the perfect foundation for building a long-term wealth strategy. When combined with the other funds we've discussed, it creates what I call the ultimate Fidelity portfolio. This combination of funds could potentially maximize your returns while minimizing your costs. Now that I've shared all 5 funds with you, let me show you exactly how to combine them for what could be the perfect balance of growth, income, and risk management. Let me show you exactly how these 5 Fidelity funds could potentially turn $100,000 into $6.6 million. And this isn't just a random number. It's based on actual fund performance and compound growth potential that has been carefully analyzed across each fund's historical returns. Let's start with your initial $100,000 investment split strategically across our 5-fund portfolio. We'll allocate 30%, $30,000 to FXAIX, our foundational fund, which based on its 15% historical growth rate could potentially grow to $1.98 million in 30 years. Then, we'll put 20%, $20,000 each into FSCAX and FDGRX. FSCAX, with its 12.84% growth rate, could reach $726,000, while FDGRX, our aggressive growth play with its impressive 18.80% return, could potentially explode to $3.38 million over the same period. The remaining 30% will be split equally between FDGFX and FZROX, with $15,000 each. FDGFX, growing at 10.54%, could reach $302,000, while FZROX, with its 13% growth rate and zero fees, could potentially grow to $608,000. When you add these numbers up, you're looking at a potential total portfolio value of approximately $7 million after 30 years. And that's assuming you never add another dollar to your initial investment. But here's what makes this strategy truly powerful. It's built on the principle of compound growth through dividend reinvestment and quarterly rebalancing. By automatically reinvesting all dividends and maintaining your target allocations through regular rebalancing, you're essentially creating a wealth-building machine that never stops working for you. The real secret to maximizing this strategy lies in your commitment to long-term investing. This means staying invested through market volatility, using market dips as buying opportunities, and ideally holding these funds in tax-advantaged accounts when possible. Remember, this isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about building sustainable wealth through a disciplined, systematic approach to investing. Think of this portfolio as your personal wealth-building engine. While others might be chasing the latest investment trends or trying to time the market, you'll be systematically growing your wealth through these 5 carefully selected funds. The best part is that you can start implementing this strategy today, setting yourself on the path toward potential financial freedom. The key isn't just in choosing these funds, it's in sticking with the strategy through market cycles and letting the power of compound growth work its magic over time. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're ready to turn $100,000 into $6.6 million with these Fidelity funds. Drop a comment below. Which fund are you adding first? The zero-fee FZROX or the Growth Beast FDGRX? Let's build wealth together. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Investment performance shown is based on historical data and projections. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Investments carry risk, and you may lose money.